Open Your Eyes is brought to you by the Belize Bank. Our country, your bank.
Good morning and welcome to Open Your Eyes.
Start your morning right.
I'm Marlene Cuellar.
And I'm Paul Lopez.
And thank you for joining us this morning.
Marlene, we have a saying here, Friday Junior.
Okay, here we go. All right, Junior, we welcome you.
Yes, Thursday, May 19th. For those who may not be aware, sometimes you're lost with the days. So just a reminder, it's Thursday, May 19th, one day before Friday. The week is coming to an end, and I do hope that wherever you are, if you're driving to work, if you're getting out of your bed, that you're looking forward to having a great day, or as great as a day as you could have today.
That's right. Yeah. You got to get started on the right foot. You have to tell yourself that first thing in the morning.
You wake up some mornings and you feel refreshed. You feel revived. You're like, yes, it's a new day. And then as soon as you wake up, moments later, you begin to think about all the weight of yesterday, all the challenges that happened yesterday, all the things that you went to bed sleeping with, because there's something about sleep and rest that kind of takes that away from you until you wake up again. You're like, those are the moments where you really have to capture your thoughts and capture yourself and say, you know what, it's a new day. That challenge didn't kill me yesterday, and I'm alive today to face it anew and to find a solution. So just a little bit of positive.
I was just going to say that was the eye opener.
That was the eye opener.
We don't need our motivation for this morning. You brought it.
Yes, indeed, indeed.
No, but it is true. You know, I use the opposites as examples because sometimes it's easier for us to identify with the negative. So, when you wake up and man, this is a horrible day. This is going to be a horrible day. And everything starts going wrong. Your car doesn't want to start. You get stuck in traffic. You forget something home. You set that mindset when you wake up, and then it's a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Yeah, well,
so try the opposite.
I tend to be a very solution-oriented person. In that when challenges come my way, I'm already thinking, how can I solve this so that I don't have to go into a fit or a frenzy or an anxiety attack. So if my vehicle is not starting, I'm already prepared. All right, I have a taxi to call because I have to figure it out. I can't sit and just wait.
You can spin in and say, that's a little bit less gas I'll have to buy.
Exactly.
It's still pretty expensive.
That's expensive, but yeah, that's another story.
Yeah, but of course, that's just a bit to get you started for today. And Paul, we were talking before we got started about some of the things that are happening in news. Of course, yesterday we saw quite a bit coming out. We heard from the commissioner himself with the reports of an alleged hit against him. Yeah,
there is apparently an alleged hit on the commissioner of police and the family court magistrate. Now, just saying that there is an allegation of an alleged hit on the commissioner of police, the highest ranking officer in this nation, and to not see people running to hide under a table or frantic about this, in a sense, after it's being mentioned in the room, is alarming to me, because it's the fact that we have the highest officer in the land, and someone allegedly has taken it upon themselves to or see it fit to allegedly orchestrate some kind of hit against the commissioner. What we do know at this time is that the person has a case before the court, and it can be deduced that it is due to that case, and however that case is turning out, that this alleged hit was placed on the commissioner of police.
I'm stuck on the first point that you mentioned, because it takes me back just a week ago to when we saw the bomb threat at KHMH. Here's the thing, I get it. I get why sometimes we're really flippant about reports like this, because they don't always pan out. You see
Yeah.
bomb threat and you say, oh, who didn't want to go to work today? Who didn't want to pay their bill? With the case of KHMH, you hear a hit and you're like, that's never going to happen. That happens in the movies. But there's a responsibility involved because we are living in unprecedented times and we just have no idea the frame of mind that people are in. And many times we've seen cases and we've reported on stories where, you know, we say to ourselves, wow, that's, you know, completely shocking. We never believe something like this could happen in Belize. So there is a responsibility to take these things seriously in the event that small percentage, or, I mean, we don't even know the percentage, but that small chance that it does pan out. What I thought was interesting, though, was how he clearly articulated that the conspiracy to, or the attempts made to be able to carry out this act is in fact a charge in itself. So whether the conversation happened or the communication took place, that is enough, he's saying, for a conspiracy to murder charge.
Yeah, I don't take the commissioner as somebody who is irresponsible in making allegations or accusations. Now he's just a man, but he's also the commissioner of police, and I only know him from the professional capacity. But to make these allegations without, as he put it, having reliable source or reliable information. So going back to the seriousness of the threat, there is a level of seriousness, and anybody whose life has been threatened or who catches wind of their life being threatened, I would imagine would take that necessary actions. Now, he's a commissioner of police, and I would imagine this is not the first time a threat has been levied against his life, but they all must be taken seriously. And when you think about the national security aspect and dynamic of it, to have your commissioner of police his life being threatened in this manner, and then for that to reach public national television, of course, there's a level of seriousness that needs to be taken there. So in that very same interview, he made mention of the fact that they're carrying out an investigation, that they're moving to detain this person, and once they have grounds, these are the charges that could possibly be levied against the person.
And he did say as well, or he did allude to the fact that they've enhanced security for himself and the magistrate. He didn't say that flat out, but he said we've taken steps of precautions. So that's where that is. We keep on following it. It is, of course, a very concerning story because who doesn't get unhappy when they're in the court system?
Indeed.
Many people do.
We've seen it.
But taking other steps beyond that, as we're hearing in this case, that's a cause for concern.
Yeah, so we'll continue to follow that one for sure. We'll be getting updates if charges are levied. We will be releasing those details as well, because I'm sure the commissioner won't sit back and allow this to carry on without a proper investigation, without some action on his department's part. The second thing, Marlene, for us to just look over is the last 2 weeks of trade winds. It's culminating today. I believe this is the final day of trainings, and we here at Channel 5, our newsroom, we've been able to follow the events since it began last week, last 2 weekends in Ladyville at the Price Barracks compound. For the opening ceremony, what we know is that there's 22 nations, trade wind member nations, who are training together in over 320 miles land and sea from Mexico, Quintana Roo, Mexico, down to Belize within the Tastan Creek district. Now there's the land, air, sea aspect of the training, but what really comes out of the training, what are the objectives, what are the results expected? One is to share skills and share knowledge among these Army and officers. So we're talking Coast Guard officers, we're talking Defense Force officers, jungle officers. So one is to share experiences, it's to share skills, it's to build relationships and build that bond. And so what we saw on Wednesday out in Hattieville, we went to the Hattieville Gallery Range, where approximately 400 BDF soldiers, along with soldiers from across the region, were sharpening their firing skills. So that's what we saw on Wednesday. And then yesterday, we went out to the Turniff Reef Atoll, where we got to witness some small boat maneuvering, some boarding tactics, some search vessel searching tactics, if I could put it that way. And it was really interesting to see how these Coast Guard officers worked in partnership with each other, how they, through these exercises, have been able to build that brotherhood. What it does, it gives me a level of confidence in knowing that if in the event there's a natural disaster, or in the event there's need for some sort of collaboration, that we have our brothers, sisters, that we have our fellow soldiers from across the region that we could count on, that we could depend on, that we could call on to come and assist us. And we spoke to a few of the soldiers who really shared how they've been able to benefit from some of these trainings. And so all of that comes together today at the different sites across this 320 miles. They're going to have culmination exercises. And so all the things that they've learned yesterday, all the things that they've learned over the past 2 weeks, they're going to kind of give us a display or a demonstration through various exercises. And so when we were in Turniff Key Atoll yesterday, we saw them rehearsing for some of that exercise. So we saw high-speed chase on the sea. That was quite interesting. We saw stop and search, where they had to board the boat. They found alleged narcotics, and we saw how the process of detaining these suspects and stuff like that. And it's not something you get to see on a regular basis.
Yeah, we report it. We don't see it.
Right, we report it. We receive the reports. And so I'm sure for our viewers as well, it was interesting to get a kind of a second-hand account through my eyes as to what this whole thing looks like. And so
yeah, so that concludes today.
That concludes today.
There's quite a bit happening today as well. We know the BNTU should be having a press conference as well. They issued a release yesterday. I know that we've tried to contact them to get some response to the story we reported on with the teacher who was in emotional distress regarding her employment, and now they have called a press conference, so that's supposed to take place, and issued a statement yesterday as well.
They did issue a statement yesterday, basically to say that the union will ensure that a thorough investigation is carried out, that they're calling on the Ministry of Education to sort of enforce those regulations, which speaks to having the ability to reprimand or to correct administration and to correct management, and to say that there is powers in that regard that teachers hold, there is powers in that regard that the ministry holds, and that they can take action. We haven't heard much from the ministry in terms of their response. I don't know that we've heard anything
other than they were going to investigate.
Other than they were going to investigate. And so I believe what the union is doing is pushing the ministry to take this investigation seriously and to see what comes out of it. Yeah, so.
Of course. And of course, just before we get into our stuff here, regionally, today is the start of the Agro-investment Forum in Guyana.
It is.
Of course, Prime Minister Briceño is there, as well as the Minister of Agriculture, Jose Mai. And this was something that was discussed, I know, at the CARICOM Summit that was held in San Pedro. Really important as the region starts to look at how they can garner more investment and grow the agricultural products that they currently have.
It is something we caught wind of at the CARICOM Summit, and the goal, I believe, that was pushed at the CARICOM Summit is to reduce the importation, food importation bill, region's food importation bill, by 25% by 2025. So 25 by 25, And so that really means that we need to eat more of what we grow. And so the nations are coming together to basically pool their resources to say, hey, this is what I'm growing. What do you need? Belize is saying, hey, this is what we're growing. This is what we need. It's an uphill battle because it's never as simple as it looks, especially when it comes to CARICOM and the single market economy. And so that's a whole nother conversation I believe they will delve into.
Yeah, so there's that happening, and of course, much more. So we're going to have that in our newscast tonight at 6 p.m., and you can look forward to that. But we're going to get moving into a show, and we have some motivation to get you started, and that means our eye-opener for today, taken from dailyom.com, goes like this. Nothing happens in our lives and in the world without purpose. The path that speeds us toward our dreams can be challenging and complex one. So it's easy to get bogged down in confusion and insecurities. We often hesitate at the start of that path, questioning our purpose or our capabilities. Yet we should be moving forward joyously, eager to discover what destiny has in store for us. The universe has plans for us that eclipse anything we have dreamed of thus far, though we must work diligently to fulfill our potential and to accomplish our individual missions. The universe is aware of both the quest we choose before birth and the goals we have formulated in adulthood. Nothing happens without a purpose. Whether we attract success or repel it depends on our willingness to stay open to a wide range of possibilities and to embrace concepts like synchronicity. The universe is always ready to care for our needs, but we must not write off its loving attention as mere circumstance or chance. When we understand that we only need to enthusiastically try our best to realize our objectives, the universe will take care of the details, propelling us forward in its unstoppable current. We may not always immediately understand the significance of certain experiences, but our trust will help us choose wisely at each crossroads. The universe wants to see you accomplish your goals. No matter how long you've dallied or hesitated, it will always be there to put its plan for you in motion at the first sign of your faith.
Can the church say amen?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a great one,
Yeah.
Marlene. My simple takeaway from that is that majority of us have experiences where in life we feel as if we're not progressing necessarily, and then boom, things happen, years pass, and you look back and you're like, wait, how did I get here in this position? You know, when 5 or 10 years ago I was in such a bad place and I was worried about the future, and this speaks to that. This speaks to the fact that there is purpose, and that purpose will guide us. And sometimes it's just about holding on to that wave, staying motivated and saying, it's rocky right now, things are choppy out at sea, but I trust and I have faith that I'll get where I need to be.
I think for me, it's just, it speaks to the fact, and the big takeaway is simply that it's dual. You don't just sit back and say, okay, universe, you know, do your thing and make things happen for me. It doesn't work like that. You have to actually put in the work to get where you want to go. But at some point, you have to have that trust that things are going to align. And even when they align to get you off track, it's with a purpose. It's a lesson you need to pick up along the way so that you can keep on moving forward.
I agree. I agree. It's like surfing. Just the last thought, it's like surfing. That's a dangerous wave to ride. But if you just sit on it, you could probably crash and get injured. But if you actually ride the wave, purposefully ride the wave, you could see some amazing things happen.
All right. And so that is our eye-opener for this morning. Have a bit of faith. That's what it's saying. All right. We got our weather update coming up, and we have Francisca Wellington on the line. Good morning.
Good morning, Marlene. Good morning, Paul.
Good morning.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing good, thank you. How about you?
I am good. I'm hoping you're telling us cooler weather is ahead.
Oh, no, sorry.
Don't hang up. All right, tell us, how hot is it going to be? That's our update for today.
Okay, the update today is going to be warm, very warm.
What's the 24-hour forecast?
Okay, so we'll see mostly sunny skies today, partly cloud skies tonight, and showers, if any, will be isolated. The winds out of the east and southeast, 5 to 15 knots, and that will produce light chop seas and producing 2 to 4 feet waves beyond the reef.
Okay. And those temperatures?
That's right. Okay, along the coast, we're going for an 88 along the coast, 97 inland, 84 up in the Maya Mountains. And with that 97, we are issuing our heat alert, advising people to stay hydrated and avoid outdoor activities, especially during this hot sun.
Yeah.
All right. Is it going to be any cooler at night?
Okay, so we are seeing 81 along the coast, 74 inland, 66 up in the Maya Mountains. So we all have to go to the Maya Mountains.
Clearly, they have the lowest, both highs and lows. But we do appreciate that heat alert. It's a few degrees less, but it still is very warm. Is it going to change in the next few days?
No, Mom, not much.
No rains coming over the weekend?
For Friday, seeing showers increasing slightly, isolated. Going on to Saturday and Sunday, we'll definitely be seeing further increases.
All right. Well, that's what we'll look down. We'll look forward to that cool down. All right, Francisca, thank you so much for that update.
You're welcome. Have a good
great
day.
Have a good day.
Bye.
Okay, bye.
More of the same, Marlene.
It's a little cooler. Yesterday was
2%.
99.
Today is
97.
97.
All right, but I do want to echo their
Yeah.
heat advisory. Of course, we say it all the time: stay hydrated. If you can, stay indoors or in shade. But especially for elder persons and for little ones, they got to drink more water than they're used to, and just stay hydrated. So that is the update for this morning. But we're gonna get moving into a show.
Yeah, we have a very interesting show lined up, Marlene. I'm excited about all of these conversations. In fact, in the first conversation, we'll have the Ministry of Blue Economy in studios with us. That is by way of the minister as well as the fisheries administrator. And they'll be here to speak about the new fisheries regulation. It's been causing a lot of stir among the fisher folk community. We saw the opposition yesterday also speaking on the issue. And so we're having the minister and the fisheries administrator coming in to answer some of those hard questions and to offer some clarification and reasoning behind the new regulation.
All right, and parents, listen up, because the second part of our show, we're going to be joined by the Social Security Board. Of course, they have a scholarship program that they have every year, and it offers scholarships for different levels of education. So they're going to tell us about the application process, how many scholarships they're giving away, and we're going to actually hear from one of the scholarship recipients as well about the process and the support they've received since they've got that scholarship.
I was actually a recipient of that scholarship in high school, so that's interesting. And then in our third conversation, we have a recruitment drive for Orange Walk IT Vet, conversation on that. IT Vet is recruiting in Orange Walk, and so we're going to hear more about what that drive is like and how you can sign up and be recruited at Orange Walk IT Vet.
All right, so that's what we have in store for you today. We do have a birthday shout out, and Paul's going to sing it.
I don't know if I'm going to sing.
Happy birthday to
Whitney Swift. She's a staff here at Channel 5, but she's more than just a staff. She's also our sister. She's our friend. She's the life of the party on the first floor. And so we do want to say happy birthday to you, Whitney. We do hope you have a wonderful day, that you have a wonderful year, and that your day is showered with blessings and love unstoppable.
All right, so that's our birthday shout out for today. We're going to go ahead and take a break. When we come back, we're going to be moving into our first conversation for this morning. So please stay tuned.
nuevo usuario de eCash, la aplicación eCash está disponible en español. Cambiar el idioma de tu aplicación de eCash de inglés a español es rápido y sencillo. Déjame mostrarte cómo se hace. Primero, abre tu aplicación eCash. Introduce tu PIN. Toca el icono More en la parte inferior de tu pantalla. Selecciona Security. Selecciona Language. Y luego selecciona Spanish. Vuelve a introducir tu PIN y ya está. Tu aplicación de eCash está ahora en español y puedes seguir disfrutando de tu cartera digital eCash. La aplicación eCash de Belize Bank te hace la vida más fácil.
1 year and a half ago, our economy was on life support. A government of the People's United Party had a clear plan to rebuild our banking system, to jumpstart our public and private sectors, and to put our people back to work. Today, Belize is open for business and our economy is stable and growing. Small and large companies in every part of the country are hiring. New industries are opening up and investor confidence is high. In every sector, there is real and meaningful growth because this is a government that is serious and committed. In a year and a half, we have done so much together. Let us continue on this strong record. Forward together. We will continue to deliver on Plan Belize.
I'm always on the go, and the country is my home. So when I want to get away from it all, I immerse myself with my favorite movies, all from the new Smart Stream app. It's easy to use this service. Purchase your movies from the app and use your mobile data, Smart Stream data packages, or smart broadband to stream and enjoy. Be like me and stream on the go with Smart Stream.
Applying for a Social Security sickness benefit? Here's what you need to know. A complete claims package include 1. Sickness claim form fully completed by the claimant and medical doctor. 2. Salaries record form completed by the employer or HR representative. 3. Proof of bank account such as bank book, online banking, or statement displaying your name and account number. To submit via email, you need to take a clear photo or scan of the documents and email to claims@socialsecurity.org.bz. Be sure to include your full name, social security number, and benefit type in the subject line of the email. Or you can drop off all completed forms into the Dropbox slot at the nearest branch office. Deadline to submit is 14 days from your first day of illness. All forms are available on the website at www.socialsecurity.org.bz. Social Security Board, safeguarding you, your family, your future.
Are you looking for low-cost television advertising? Have we got a deal for you? Advertise on Channel 5's Daily Classifieds. Channel 5's Daily Classifieds is one of the most effective methods for introducing yourself and your business to the community. Use our Daily Classifieds to recruit employees, promote specials, promote your products or services, promote a business opportunity, increase traffic to your website, and advertise items you have for sale. Let us help you to save valuable time and money. Call us today at 280-0013 or visit us at our offices on Coney Drive to discuss how we can help your business grow affordably. Channel 5 Daily Classifieds. Advertise today.
Dwayne Moody, Isani Cayetano, Marian Ali, Paul Lopez. Your News 5 Belize teams do whatever it takes. Go wherever they need to go, so you can catch the story wherever you are, whenever you want, on whatever device. Channel 5 Belize on television, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Because news is now everywhere, all the time. And so are we.
Whether you're at home, on the road, at work, or at school, If you see news happening or suspect that something might be up, call or text the Channel 5 News Belize tip line at 672-5555. You don't have to give us your name, just give us the tip. That's 672-5555. Call or text us so we can check it out. All right, good morning, welcome back. And so we have with us, as we promised, the Ministry of Blue Economy, and they're here to speak with us. We have in studios, we have Andre Perez, Minister, Ministry of Blue Economy and Civil Aviation. Good morning, Minister Perez, as well as...
We have with us, I'm sorry, we've got to mix up with the name.
Adriel Castaneda.
Adriel Castaneda.
And he's a fisheries officer.
Yes, thank you.
And they're here, among other things, to discuss this new fisheries regulation. It's been causing quite a stir, as you would know, Minister, causing quite a stir among the fisher folks, as well as others within the nation. Let me just get to the point and ask you, what do you believe is causing this stir? Is it that there is some misinformation, that there isn't enough clarity on these new regulations?
Yes, certainly. Good morning, and it's good to be here. Thank you very much for offering this platform to clear these issues here, and acknowledge as well my fisheries officers here. Adriel Castaneda, and that is also, we've been doing the wrongs of taking this message here. And yesterday I was with another different media outlet. I had the fisheries administrator with me, Mr. Quintana, and now I have Mr. Castaneda. Just an indication of we have very capable people in our department to do this kind of work. So I know I'm very comfortable bringing either the administrator or the fisheries officer. They all have the knowledge to share all the expertise and the data that we have as well. And certainly, indeed, to answer your question, and your concern, of course, of the entire fisher folks and the communities all across the coast. First of all, it's not a new regulation. That's the first thing. That has been in place since 2009 and signed by the previous administration. But it's not about whether it was signed before or from a different administration. Once it is vetted through the fisheries department and we look at it, then it is a good regulation. It is being studied, and we have to also let the people know that this is binding, that we have to be harmonized with the region, not only Central America, but the Caribbean, because we are a member of OSPESCA from SICA, which includes Dominican Republic, and of course we are part of the CRFM, the Caribbean Regional Fishing Mechanism. So we need to be harmonized. These are binding, and for so many years it has been, let's put it over, another year, and also lacking political will as well, that who wants to take the bull by the horns, it must be done.
Or who wants to face the backlash.
Exactly. And that is what yours truly is here sitting, facing the backlash. And we're clearing it. And we had a very fruitful meeting in Keycocker. It was very robust. Our people there, and I know my people there, were very passionate about what they do. But in the end, in the spirit of compromise, we were able to clear out and come out and have, sometimes we cannot agree. We agree to disagree, and certain things we can make changes. As the minister, I'm able to make some amendments in terms of the time that they will set in the lobster traps, because there's a date as well when you can set those lobster traps in the water before July 1st, that the season opens, and it calls for 10 days. But they justified and gave us information. They are the ones on the ground. They are the experts. They know the fishing, how it works, and we recognize that and we respect that. So we were able to make that amendment, say, okay, instead of 10, let's do 15 days. In terms of the escape gap, there's an escape gap on the
space in the trap.
Right, in which there are certain lobsters can get out. We were proposing to make it a little bit bigger. It caused a stir. So we looked at it and said, we're willing to, let's put that on hold. Let's see what happens in the next year. But certainly the amount, that is important is the weight, the
Yeah.
4.5 ounces that stands. That is binding.
And that's-
so we explain that.
That's part of the clarity that I needed. So the agreement was made with ASPESCA, government of Belize, in 2009. The consultations took place, the regulations were drafted, and I remember having conversations previously
Yes.
About this process. So now we're at the point of implementation. But my question is, are we only talking, there's the fish weight, which is a 0.5 ounce difference. There is the fish size, which, what's the difference in the size?
It's 3.25 now.
3.25.
Carapace length.
Yeah, the whole lobster.
It's the carapace.
The
Just the
tail.
head.
The
Oh,
head.
just the tail,
Yes.
just the
The tail.
head?
The head. The tail has a weight
Yes.
measure,
Okay.
which moves from 4 ounce to 4.5.
And then there is the difference in the size of you call it the escape gap, basically the space where the trap
yes.
can, and how long they can put it out.
Yes.
What other changes are we looking at?
Well, the close season moved from February 15 to the end of February now, so it runs March to June. It opens in July, so it's a shift of like 2 weeks,
Okay.
which is a major change, and basically again is to harmonize with the rest of the region. It's important to note, Marlene, that these things are happening at the regional level because the lobster is what is considered a meta population. And basically it's spread out throughout the region, throughout the Wakafi region, area 31 of the FAO. And the life cycle of the lobster itself spreads among all of these areas. Just the larval stage of the lobster takes 1 year within the plankton. So that's very complex, and it has so much of the complexity of the lobster species and the management as such. So hence we're trying to look more of a regional approach, harmonizing so that we're able to better manage the resource.
Now, Minister, you know that just like tourism stakeholders look forward to high season for tourism, fisher folk look forward to lobster season. That's their high season. They get the bulk of their income then. So I'm sure you anticipated that the implementation of these regulations, especially in this time, would come with some resistance. So the first question is, why choose, since we have been putting it off and the economy is recovering, why choose to do it now?
Well, there's two things. The implementation has to be done. Even though you take into consideration the pandemic, it boils into the question, if not now, then when? Right? So we have to, and also the most important thing is that we must protect the industry. The industry is very fragile. It has value, but for now, we cannot be thinking anymore about today. We have to think about tomorrow and the future. And whether the pandemic or not, we don't know if there's another pandemic or another storm coming or something. We don't know. So we can't be on the assumption of the pandemic was extraordinary, but we have to make that decision. And I stand by it that this is, and based on the advice we're getting from our Fisheries Department, we got to implement it. And this is what we had told the cooperatives. In fact, it should have been from last year, and we decided to put off another year. That's important as well. We cannot forget that. So now it's time for us to move forward and implement it this time. But I am confident, based on the data that we're sharing, and of course we're talking with the fisher folks, it is going to rebound back quicker than you expect in terms of what we are going to harvest. The lobster is going to be quality. It's going to fetch higher value for sure. Also to meet up with what we have, the rising cost of fuel that is affecting. So all of these factors have been taken into consideration, and I remain confident that it is going to be looking back next year after our results. We're looking forward for the second year to continue doing the season, that we're going to look back and say it's a decision that was well done. I'm confident on that.
So let's go back to the meeting that you had. You're going to Sargassum. You've done Key Cockerel already, and you have San Pedro pending. What concessions were the fisher folk willing to make, and what concessions were you willing to make, or the ministry willing to make?
Of course. Yes, as I mentioned earlier, it's a spirit of compromise. It's not supposed to be hard-headed and say, this is it, take it or leave it. It's never like that. But binding to what we have signed is important. And that weight that we're talking about, 4.5 ounces for the tail, that stands. We were able to, as I mentioned earlier, is to agree with them to give them additional days to soak their, to insert the fish traps in the water. In one case, we had a fisher person there that has a fisher folk that has about 500 traps that won't take 1 day to put. So I can't say on the 10th day you're going. So we decided to extend another 5 days for that. That is a compromise we made with them. And as a minister, I do have the power to make these agreements. And in terms of the escape gap as well, we keep it the same. So we will be monitoring that as well. But eventually we'll have to give in. We'll have to give it a try and see what happens. So for now, given the circumstances and they're listening to their concern, this is where we met there. But and it was a very robust meeting. Many questions asked. They were passionate. But in the end, when I stepped in and I explained to them, and I said that I have a commitment, and made clear to them that I'm not here to just throw them under the bus and not caring about them. It's because I care for our people, I care for the industry, and within the framework of the blue economy, also that we are called to do the right thing there is to be to grow sustainably, maximize production in a sustainable manner for generations to come.
Why do you think they felt blindsided by the implementation of the regulations? It came into effect in March.
Yes.
Yeah, but because the season is getting closer.
Yes, but it's something that they knew was coming. Everybody know, but sometimes we say we're not consulted, but it has been in existence for so many years that we put it off. So it's time when they tell them we're going to do it. Maybe they felt that it's not going to be done again as just rhetoric to say we'll do it, and then we ignore it. This time we have to do it. And also I must call out that it is also the responsibility of the co-ops, also the cooperatives that have their members, that they also have a responsibility to send the information because they know it, and they're in full support of it as well, that it's a move in the right direction to preserve the industry.
You touched on another issue that I know that fisher folk have been concerned about for a long time, and I imagine even more so now. The Ministry of Tourism has a fuel subsidy for tour guides. Has the government discussed looking at fuel subsidies or some sort of incentive for fisher folk? Because it's very expensive to maintain a boat and to take it out to be able to get the fish stock in the first place.
A very important topic that we had to discuss. We did discuss it at the meeting as well. And it is where it entails for us to make that move as well, and to understand that, look, as much as we want to care for our farmers, cane farmers that get some of these subsidies, it is well received and well deserved as well. I'm also a proponent of those that these fisher folks deserve also some kind of consideration as well. And not only the fisher folks, but those that are involved in the tourism sector that, for example, buying these new engines, it's still ranked in the books there. Like if you buy a outboard engine, it is like luxury, as opposed to when you go and buy a tractor for a farmer. That is no longer the case. These people, these fisher folks and tour guides, and they go there and buy a motor is no longer luxury. It's a necessity. It's a workhorse, if you want to call it. So I agree, these things, and I mentioned to the fisher folks that it's time for us to take that. And I commit myself to that. I'm working along collaborative efforts as well with the Ministry of Tourism, which I enjoy excellent working relationship with them. But the other thing also I want to mention is that but for that to happen, we must organize ourselves, just as much as the cane farmers are organized. And I mentioned that to our fisher folks there, and I will take that message to Sardinia. We must organize ourselves. We cannot be divided. We have to come up with a comprehensive plan to justify that they are entitled to it. We believe it, that they are entitled to it. But it's all about data. We have to compile it, and we commit ourselves to do that work, and our department to work with that. So it's not about promising we'll do it. We have to put it in place to present it to government or to cabinet.
Can the government of Belize be sanctioned by OPESCA for non-implementation or delayed implementation? Is that like a fear or a concern?
Yes, there are sanctions. Normally what they try to do first is try to negotiate with the countries to encourage the countries to implement the regulations. Hence why we've since 2009 been deferring it for the same reason, because they believe that it has to have the buy-in of the people. Only so will you be able to be successful, otherwise it's going to become paper regulations. You can't implement it, but yes, there are sanctions that
perhaps a part of my challenge with the new regulation or the implementation of all the aspects of it is the lack of local research, data to inform sort of amendments or sort of shifts to the recommendations from OPESCA. In an interview recently, that's what we learned, is that the data on lobster in Belize isn't necessarily there. The proper research isn't necessarily there to kind of alter or amend what OPESCA recommends?
Look, I think there is some gaps in data. I wouldn't agree with the lack of data.
Okay.
There is data. Specific data needs to be collected to do stock assessments.
Right.
And it's only through the stock assessments that we're able to implement the right measures in place. We are currently engaging one of our partners, EDF, to exactly do that. Do the stock assessment to ensure that we know how much biomass is out there, how much lobsters are out there, so that we're able to implement. We do monitoring at all the marine protected areas for lobsters, for conch, for finfish. The data is there. It's just that what we do need is some support in analyzing the data. That is limited as well, so we need additional support to analyze, which is why we're partnering with these groups that have the capacity to.
So how well have we been able to ascertain whether or not fisher folks, when they go out there, that they will be able to find an ample amount of these required lobsters, the 4.5 ounce size and weight? How well have we been able to ascertain that data?
Lobsters are predictable per se. And even a fisherman could tell you there are normally 2 good years and 1 bad year. So it's a fluctuation. Hence, when you see production, the graph that you would see goes like this.
Yeah.
But the production remains between 400 and 600,000 pounds. And that has to do, again, with the metapopulation, what happens here in Florida and Cuba, all these things help in being able to secure that there is this steady fluctuation, if you may.
Yeah.
You know, if I could just take it to a macro picture here, Minister, if you allow me. This is the core of blue economy. The balancing act between maintaining the environmental champion role that we've taken on in this country, but also ensuring that the livelihoods of Belizeans are maintained. This is one change, but you know, for a few years we've been fighting off the issue with the queen conch as well. I mean, tell Belizeans they can't have conch, you'll have a bigger backlash than lobster.
Yes.
So how do you, moving forward, whether it's in implementation or signing new agreements, how do you make these decisions? What fuels the decision-making process?
Well, you mentioned a delicate balance. That's no question about it. But within the framework of the blue economy, and I want to go back to what Mr. Castaneda mentioned right now, it's looking at the data is important, and we did present it at the Kikakar team. And it's clear the data is that there are areas that are picking up, and it shows that there's a drop. And it has been here for decades like that. And for the last 10 years, this is what is going to happen. So it's predictable that we can do this. However, in terms of the pandemic, I must commend the Fisheries Department. They were extremely lenient in allowing that, because tourism pretty much when fell, we had to make some adjustments to accommodate our fisher folks. Even tour guides who are not doing the fishing, we had to give out the licenses. The extraction of the lobster was maximized as much as possible, conch as well, and it was necessary. So this year as well, we must note as well that there was a little bit of overfishing that in fact it was, and it was allowed because of the pandemic. But why I mention all of this, it's because now under the blue economy framework, we know that the harvesting of lobster, it peaks. It is not infinite. It has limits. And by the way we have studies is that we have to peak. So we cannot be just giving out license and exportation and extraction as much as possible until the day's end. We have to preserve that as well. So the blue economy is pretty much to maximize it to the point that we also preserve this industry, that the species is not going to disappear. So that is the delicate balancing act that we're doing.
And these licenses that you gave out during the pandemic, were they time sensitive or?
They have to get renewed every year.
Okay.
Right.
Okay, because we know that there are a lot of
yes, and we have
fishers.
information where the traditional fisher folks
Okay.
there who you have to renew and everything. So yes, that has to be renewed as well.
Okay. Now, how optimistic are you? You said you had a successful meeting in Kikakar. You have Sarteneja and you have San Pedro pending. How optimistic are you you'll be able to also get some sort of compromise there?
The way how we're doing right now, the information that we're sharing, we've been on the media outlets. It is clear also, and people are beginning to see, and especially in Kikaker, that there is also another motive behind it. There is a political motive. I'm not talking about political parties, it's about the hustling and jostling of powers, who sits where in these committees in the COPs as well. And then, of course, they were coming into the village council elections. There are different kind of movements that are occurring. But my job is to make sure that that is not mixed up with the serious work that we have to do in the blue economy and the fisheries department. And in the end, that is what we will show our fisher folks, that we are here to protect them. We are here to protect their livelihoods, the industry. And just surely I remain committed to working with them. It's beautiful to be out there. It's beautiful to be out there fishing. I recognize that. I have visited these, especially the people from Sardinia. I've made trips all the way down south to climb on one of these boats and see how they fish, how they live, how they eat. And it's very much, I respect them for that. My hats off to see hands-on right there. So.
One of the things I understand about the size is that also when we talk about economic benefits is that the U.S. only accepts a certain size and weight. So if you would speak to that and how then this now benefits fisher folks in terms of them being able to export and sell more.
That is an important thing that you mentioned, because the markets control a lot of what happens internally. The US is our biggest buyer for lobster, and they accept 5-inch lobster. But the tricky part is that there's a range.
Right.
5-inch refers to 4.5 to 5.5. So we are just meeting the bare minimum to ensure that we're meeting that market demand that they have.
And
so
How will you, I mean, we know that regulating fisheries is costly and you're under-resourced. You're understaffed and under-resourced, historically. How will you regulate this now?
Well, a couple of things that are new on our ministry is the blue bonds. We're envisioning some additional funding coming in that will be specific towards enforcement, which is much needed. Boost up on fuel, personnel, equipment, and so on. We're also building capacity on our officers by sending them for training at different institutions in foreign countries. We're working with other agencies, Coast Guard, Police, Customs, to do joint approaches because we need to be strategic. And of course, we're using technology as much as possible. We're doing the smart system, which is a reporting tool that we have. We're piloting drone activities to see how best we can use that to maximize our resources. It's just different things that we're looking at to enhance.
And also our partners also that engage with us in patrolling as well, as the incident we had last night. No? So that's
yes,
important.
definitely.
Well. Maybe Adriel, you can share on that.
Just last night around 8 p.m., 3 Honduran vessels were detained in the Gladden Spit area, close to Silk Keys. Illegal fishing, of course, and this was done by our officers in the PG office.
what were they caught with?
Finfish. Normally they come to fish the aggregation that is right at Gladden Spit, where the whale sharks are. That's a huge area, and these people come at night. So we're trying also to be able to address these issues at night. That's complicated.
And it's a safety
Navigate,
issue.
yes, exactly.
It's a safety.
They were
Piracy is
detained.
real.
They were detained, and they're
Yes. They will be dealt with today in court.
What did they get caught with?
Finfish, I don't have the exact
I
amounts.
think they told us that they had finfish and they had a lot of bait as well. They had a lot of bait, so
Yeah.
they were engaging in something massive, but they got caught.
It's 3 vessels that they got, and 5 of them escaped. So it's a lot of people coming in, especially now when the aggregation is in speak now.
When it's closed off to Belizeans entirely because it's a protected area.
Right now it's open. Actually, there's a limited entry for the Gladden Spit area for traditional fishers. It's between April and June, but it's when the fish are spawning, so they're aggregated and they're easy to catch.
And that's
hence
not
they know it, and
right.
Well, of course they would come and fish it illegally.
Since we're on Gladden Spit and Gladden Spit, and Silk Key, Minister, perhaps we could get an update on what has been transpiring at Silk Key. You understand that there was some controversy there. Kudos to your ministry for immediately jumping on that and attempting to partner with the community there. Can you tell us how that partnership has been progressing?
Well, First of all, under our ministry and myself when I lead it, it's never to lead a ministry where just engaging the entire 5 years just outing fires. It's never like that. We have to make plans ahead to execute the work and make preparations. But occasionally we have these flare-ups that we have to deal with. But the most important thing with this is the approach that the blue economy has, the ministry has. It's that it's never about we're fighting against you or we're telling you what to do and what not to do. We're here, we want to work with you. We want to be partners. And community effort is always the biggest thing that is an asset. Can be an asset if we embrace it and if we have good leadership. And also, let's not forget our partners there also contribute as well. So it is a collaborative effort. But the point is that the Blue Economy Ministry must lead. And we are prepared to do so. We have the capabilities in offering all the assistance in terms of technical support, technical advice, the data that is out there. Certainly, I cannot say we have all the resources and the money to say, let's go and do it. I mean, it's going to put us in trouble. We don't have that. But giving value to what the community is giving there and other partners, we can do it. Now, in the case of Silky, it didn't erode overnight. It did not. It's over the years in fact, there were 3 keys. 2 have disappeared, and the final one is about to disappear. So the efforts of the community, very noble, embark on their own thing to try to do it on a weekend. But what they were using, the bags, the material they were bringing in from the mainland was not what environmentally would be sound, and that is where the Fisheries Department came in. The Department of Environment as well from the other ministry came in as well to say, look, this is not the right way. Even the bags, and we've said it several times, even though the group was saying they're new bags, it's eventually will turn into microplastics and quickly. And that is not talking about 3, 4, 5 years. We're talking about weeks. Those bags are going to erode, and the material there is river sand they're using. So we're saying, hey, let's fix it. We can do it, working together in compliance with the Department of Environment. We may be able to even extract the same sand that is out there from the reef to refill the island, and it's going to be costing less, but we can do it environmentally sound. There's steps to do it that will not affect the ecosystem.
No, Minister, I mean, I think...
And by the way, it came out very successful. Our team, they understood, very robust talking, and it was a fruitful meeting. We came out, win-win for all.
I think the challenge here fundamentally is the timeline, because clearly, as you said, the erosion has been taking place over time, and a community initiative like this, that's because people are tired.
Yes.
They are acting because no one else is acting.
Right. And let's not forget as well, and I keep on saying, I don't want to be political, there has never been for the past 15 years political will. And that is what we're doing, and we're showing them that we can do it.
So in this meeting where you were able to work along with the community members who were kind of taking action on their own, we want that. That should be encouraged from the outside perspective when communities want to help to be a part of the solution. Did you decide on a timeline? Because they're clearly concerned and frustrated, and they were taking action on their own.
Yes, we continue to do work on the talks, and eventually, I don't want to go ahead of myself and judge immediately, but that is going to happen. And we will come back again to showcase what was done in Silky. And by the way, that's another work we're doing is also at Gavski. It is closed right now for the next 6 months. For good reason, I'm going to restore the island, because that's another island that is disappearing and it shifts. Again, to say islands are dynamic, they're not set there physically and they don't move with climate change, which is real, and our government recognizes that, no one can ignore that climate change is also affecting us. But that is also something that's working to showcase in the next 6 months what can be done if we do it the right way. And we partner with people with the funding, we can do it.
Now, I want to shift topics very quickly, because I know that this is something that is very concerning, not just for Belize, but across the region. Tackling the Sargassum problem. People are coming to the country because they want to see the beauty. And yes, it looks beautiful, but it doesn't smell that way.
Yes.
So let's talk about what solutions are being attempted. These are some images there from our news team when they went out last week.
Yeah.
And I know the problem is only getting worse.
Yes. I'll start off with this. 2022 is an extremely bad year. Very, very bad when it comes to the sargassum. Marlene Gunner, the days know that we will take a look at the weather. We're going to see if it's rain or the storms are coming or if the cold front is coming. Now we're looking at the weather and say what are the big swaths of sargassum coming across the Caribbean heading to the western side, which we are right smack in the middle of that there. So I start up with this. we cannot sit down here to say it's climate change, it's nature, we can't do nothing, we have to wait till the season pass, and by the time October comes, it's all gone. That is lack of political will. That has happened for the past 13 years and has all of us traumatized. Nothing was done. So we need to do something. And that's what we're doing. We're engaging again with the community. It is important that we have a community. We have to involve everyone on board. It's not only the government or the Ministry of Tourism or the Ministry of Blue Economy. It has to be private sector as well. The council, the municipalities as well have to involve. So a very fruitful meeting occurred on that. We actually sent a team, 3 ministries, the Ministry of Sustainable Development, the Ministry of Tourism, and the Blue Economy. We sent off a team to Playa del Carmen to see a project that they are doing, a very ambitious project, and it is working. They have adopted 6 kilometers of beach, and the work that they're doing is tremendous. I think I may have sent some footage on that, but it involves a fleet of pontoon boats that have the capability of actually floating on very low waters and on shallow waters. And the idea is not to wait for the sargassum to get to the shores, but rather capture it in the waters. And this fleet of boats should be capturing it along the waters in front of the islands and transport it to a much bigger barge, but not a huge one, but one that is able to hold this sargassum, and we can take it to shore at a collection site where it can be distributed, whether it's for landfill or whether it can be, eventually we can look for other options, or even for methane or something that we can use for energy. The people that offered us this have come to San Pedro. We have taken them on a reconnaissance to look at the waters. They have been on the boats to look at how the currents are. And by the way, in San Pedro, we have people who have studies of how the currents come in. All of that are being put together. But in Belize, we have a very unique situation that is much better than what our counterparts in Quintana Roo have. The reef. The reef has channels. They call them cuts in Creole, right? And when you take those flights and you come into Belize City, you can clearly see these swaths of sargassum coming in, and it becomes like a funnel, bottleneck, and it comes through these cuts. And they come to the shallow waters, and then it disperses and reaches all the island. So we believe that we can do that and make that attempt to capture that sargassum in those cuts instead of before it spreads. So whatever remainder reaches to the shore can be taking care of the resorts, the municipalities. So it's very ambitious. It is going to happen. It is going to cost. But we believe that's the plan.
Cost is the key thing.
Yes.
Because I always, the hoteliers themselves, I know many of them have taken it upon themselves to come up with their own cleanup campaign. Some of the councils have tried to come up with their own cleanup campaign. But it's a problem that affects all, not just the hotel, the private business, not just the municipality, but this is our product. This is what we sell, white sand beaches, not sargassum filled beaches.
That's another matter that the team that came from Playa del Carmen came with us, because they offer us all these things. One of the things that when I was discussing one of the senior persons there, he told me that one of the problems they're encountering is that one resort is saying, well, I just want the front of me and forget about the rest. That is individualism, right? And there's a saying out there, each and every one by ourselves ain't worth anything. And if you are going to be doing your own thing and say, I want to do my own cleanup, it's never going to happen. This is a huge problem. So it has to be a concerted effort. And we from the government must lead. So in terms of financing and everything, it has to come that everybody will have to pool their resources. All the government has to do.
And the tourism ministry is involved.
Exactly, absolutely, fully on board in it.
There's a task force.
Yeah, task force. There is a task force group that we meet and discuss.
So your ministry is considering, or is in the process of hiring this team?
The government, actually, we're actually, the mechanism is being in work right now to see how we can partner with them. They can be potential investors because it is a money-making business, right? However, but we can partner with them. They have the expertise, they have the know-how. We have visited their place, and
what do they do with the sargassum when they collect it? Because we know landfills, people are using it for landfills, but it does decompose and let off a gas, which is a health concern. What are we doing right now?
It's mostly landfills. There isn't much we can do at this time. In the region, one of the Caribbean countries, they've even been looking at feeding it to sheep, because according to the study, it releases less methane. Because it's less gas on the sheep, so it's good and it's nutritious to them. How true that is, I guess we need more studies, but at the time it's simply landfills.
Yeah, and there's also, we've heard so many talks what we can do with this. We can use for methane. We can use some people in Quintana are making blocks out of it to construct buildings. Some are saying for fertilizers. The whole. We've heard all of those things. So we need
one of those innovation challenges here in Belize for people to come up with a solution.
It has, but in the meantime, we have an urgency of getting rid of that sargassum out of the water, right? And that eventually is going to be a phase that we have to look at again. But the other point that we need to mention about sargassum is that how do you collect it? Everybody wants sargassum and take it to their backyard and fill it up on the islands. But the biggest is human resources, the cost as well, to bring that in a collection site. It's riddled all across the beach. So with this now, we are able to put in a collection site. And trust me, when you put that sargassum there and it's fresh and everything, it is going to disappear quickly. It is going to be
people come and take it.
Yes, and it's fresh. It's not. It is not pungent. It is not rotting. It's fresh.
Because it's right out to the sea.
Minister, let me get a final thought from you on one final subject, because we're running out of time. But have you been able to gauge from your area a response to the trade licensing bill that is before the House at this moment?
Well, I can only relate that to, for now, to our municipality in San Pedro. First of all, politically, this has been taken to a level of political that is all nonsensical. I've heard the opposition mention it and everything, and it's only laughable to just create smoke. So remember, village council elections are coming by, so they're going to use it and spin it around, and it's all hogwash that they're mentioning. I want to bring it on closer to this. Minister Fonseca made a clean post on it. He was very articulate, and I'm recommending essential reading to everyone. He made a good post to clarify these things. As it relates to the municipalities, in fact, in San Pedro, we're going to benefit, especially those that are involved in the music industry. We're not attacking them. We're saying it's a thriving industry, especially in San Pedro. And we are not really just saying coming after them. We're simply balancing. We have to be equitable in terms of who pays taxes and who doesn't. So we are just fine-tuning these things. It is going to generate more funds for the municipalities. But then I want to get a little bit more a job to say that this is also a call for our municipalities that they are, by the amount of revenues that they have to give back their financials to tell our people how you're spending the money. I don't mind paying taxes as a business person. I don't making contributions. You're going to tax me more. I want to see in results. What are you doing with the money? You're charging here. We need to know what you're putting. Are you cleaning the streets? Are you picking up the trash? That is what my community is asking for. And I'm sure about that because I walk the streets every day. I go to work every day. So this is what they don't mind paying. But they need to make sure the municipality yields results, tangible results out there. So that is how I would answer your question.
And I'm glad that you made the distinction, because we had the minister on as well to talk about the focus on urban areas. But you have a unique situation as well. One of the classic examples that's used to talk about why even in rural areas there's a need to look at trade license. We talk about Bella Vista, we talk about Ladyville, we talk about Key Cocker, and we talk about Placencia, where there is no mechanism, and currently councils like Key Cocker, excluding the tourism part, would only benefit from a liquor license to take care of things like Sargassum, streets, everything else. So
now the Street License Act and also the Village Council Act also that was passed early on as well is also beneficial to the villages as well. Good things being passed. And you see, and no one discusses that. Nobody throws that in because it passed on. But had we passed that act recently, right now, they would have been thrown political. But it's good. It is really, we are empowering. On Plan Belize, that is what we did, was to empower our villages to give them more autonomy for them to be able to collect their revenues to put it in place. But I go back to it again. Even the village council are called also to say how they're spending their monies as well. And that goes for our village in Key Cocker, which I have to commend the village council for doing a great job in maintaining their funds. And it's a very strong revenue-based little village, but they do put the work, and you can see the work that they do for the village. So, yeah.
All right. Well, of course, we are out of time. We've been, but there's been quite a lot happening, and the fisheries regulations, I know, has been at the forefront of everyone's mind. So we wanted to be able to get some answers as to what that means. So July 1st, the season opens up, and so far it seems that the size regulations, the change in size and weight regulations, will stay.
Yes.
All right. Well, we will, of course, keep on following it, and we thank you for coming in and telling us about it.
It's good to be here. Thank you very, very much.
We're going to go ahead and take a break.
And when we come back, we have Social Security with us telling us about their scholarship opportunity for the upcoming school year. You don't want to miss that. Stay tuned.
Technology is ubiquitous, and it's transforming how, when, and where we work. Fulltech Systems is placing award-winning devices in the hands of information workers, allowing them to work without compromise in a world without wires, to innovate, create, and to maximize productivity anytime, anywhere, satisfying the needs of the desk-centric remote and field worker and every other worker in between. We are providing the industry's best devices to businesses going through the process of digital transformation. Partner with us today to provide the solutions that will allow your employees to work effectively and efficiently to enhance your customers' experience. Fulltech Systems, your technology center, where you'll come for the price but stay for the service.
Wake up! Wake up! Now which cheese you think you may eat all the while? Gaio cheese with the blue rooster on the label is the traditional and the real deal. The original Dutch, redback or hard cheese in Belize. Be aware! Check your label and make sure it is in English and for the Belize market. Gaio cheese with the blue rooster. The real deal. Santiago Castillo Limited, supporting and building our Belizean community for 95 years and counting.
Gaia Edam Dutch cheese, aged and tropicalized, the best formula for the Belize market, exclusively distributed by Santiago Castillo Limited.
Get ready. Universal Hardware is doing it again with a mega sale in Belize City from May 19th to May 21st. Enjoy deep discounts on Leaf Fan motorcycles, Echo chainsaws, Shindaiwa brush cutters, Makita power tools, Easy Care paint, Pallet flooring, Toolcraft hand tools, Sankey AC units, and much more.
Grand raffle on May 21st. Don't miss out.
Universal Hardware, the preferred solutions provider.
Staying connected with your loved ones while traveling is even more important during this global pandemic. With Digi, this is even easier and more convenient with our data roaming plans. Postpaid customers have instant access to mobile data when in 41 destinations worldwide. With 3 affordable plans, starting at only $28, it's easy to instantly connect via your favorite digital platform. To purchase your data roaming plan, contact Digi before your travel date. If you are already abroad, you can contact us via email at digihelp@livedigi.com or via WhatsApp at 608-8888. For more information, visit our website at livedigi.com/digicel or visit a Digi store near you. You can roam, stay safe, and stay connected with Digi.
Dwayne Moody, Isani Cayetano, Marian Ali, Paul Lopez. Your News 5 Belize teams do whatever it takes. Go wherever they need to go, so you can catch the story wherever you are, whenever you want, on whatever device. Channel 5 Belize on television, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Because news is now everywhere, all the time. And so are we.
All right, and welcome back to Open Your Eyes, Thursday, May 19th. This is our second conversation lined up for you this morning. Another interesting topic, Social Security Boards here to talk talk with us about their scholarship programming. So in with us on set we have Moeva Fuller, who is the Corporate Relations Officer for SSB. And we have a young man, very ambitious, Wilmer De La Rosa, and he's a 2021 scholarship recipient for Cayo Set. Correct?
Nice.
All right.
And Moava, I don't know if you know this, but you have 2 scholarship recipients on set.
Yes.
I do? Yes. Paul was a scholarship recipient.
I was a
as
scholarship
well.
recipient high school at BCS.
There
Double
you
Fine.
go.
Did not know that.
Yeah, we planned this one for you.
Yeah, we
see?
did.
I love it. You know, we're actually in the process of forming a scholarship alumni because we have so many scholarship recipients who have done outstanding things in
Look at
society.
that.
And we're just trying to get all of them together. So we will be
Send me
reaching
an
out to you.
invite.
Yes.
I'm up for it.
Yes, we
It's been
will.
over 1,000 scholarships that
Over
have been
1,000.
given out so far. Yeah.
Over 1,000.
Give us the background of it. It's been how long and over 1,000. That's a lot of families that have been helped.
Yeah, so we started in 2001, and as you rightly mentioned, since then we've awarded over 1,000 scholarship opportunities to Belizean students, which also impacts their families as well. So we offer the scholarship program as a part of our corporate social responsibility, and it is something that we will not change because we have seen the impact of the scholarships, and we have seen how scholarships change the entire trajectory of someone's life. So for this year, we are offering 57 scholarship opportunities. Yes. So we're going to have 24 scholarships for persons who want to go to high school. We have 17 for persons who want to pursue an associate degree. And we also have 16 scholarships for vocational technical courses.
Yeah.
So
and this
we
was
have
a
lot of
recent
opportunities.
addition, I think, in the past 5 years or so, the vocational and technical scholarship.
Yes, yes, we incorporated that, I'd say, over the last 10 years.
Okay.
So, but what we've noticed is that we've had some issues or some limitations in getting applications to fill those VOTEC slots. So every year we try to see how we can strengthen our strategy, how we can perhaps change our strategy so we can get as many applicants for the VOTEC application. So this year what we've done is we've partnered with some of the actual VOTEC schools in the country so that they can know that we have these opportunities. We've reached out to organizations that deal with youths at risk so that we can also touch base with those people as well. So we're just trying to get that word out as much as we can that we have these VOTEC opportunities. They are there. We will cover you for the entire duration of your program, and we want people to make the most of the opportunity.
And of course, in studio we have with us recipient of one of those scholarships, Wilmer De La Rosa. Good morning, Wilmer.
Good morning, sir.
How are you this morning?
I'm very excited. I'm thankful for this opportunity on the show.
Yeah.
Nice. Wilmer, what are you studying?
I'm studying electrical installation at Cayo Set.
Okay.
Yes, this opportunity has been so I'm being so blessed for this opportunity because I was a current student at Sacred Heart College in Cayo. I didn't have the opportunity to finish my studying. I thought that I didn't have another break in life to be a successful person in life, but then I saw I think a clip on Facebook of the SSB, and then I reached out to them, and then my sister did more info and everything, and then right now I'm just doing as much as I can to be a great student.
Right on, man. Right
Yeah,
on.
man, that just touched my heart immediately. Can I just say that? Because you are a clear example of how scholarships can intervene at a time when people are willing to give up and take a completely different route.
Yes.
So what has it been like since you have gotten back into school and started your program?
Well, for one, it's a new purpose for life for me, because like I said, right now on the streets and thing, it's not really nice and be out there and feeling like you're going not to be nothing in your life in the future and stuff. But right now, in set and stuff, right now I'm really learning new things. I'm really thankful and open-minded, and always just grateful as I always can be in classroom, back in the classroom.
How much more time do you have in your studies? And then tell me a bit about how the requirements for the scholarship sort of motivates you to ensure you're on top of your game.
Yes, yes. Well, I have 12 more months to finish But then we do it. We don't go straight through 12 months. We do 6 months and then take a break, and then we go back for the next 6 months. And then the requirement is just to maintain a I think it's a 2.8 GPA. It's not really high, just to maintain passing and stuff.
Yeah.
It's not because students, when they get a scholarship, they feel like you have to maintain a high GPA and stuff like that.
They're afraid.
Yes.
Yeah, they're afraid, and they feel like it's not gonna, it's hard to accomplish, but it's not hard to accomplish. It's really you can create a fulfilling and fruitful life with a scholarship and Social Security Board.
What you said is so important, and I want to get into that because not because a child isn't a 4.0 student and in need doesn't mean they don't deserve a scholarship. You can be a 3.0 student and capable of exceptional things. So let's talk about how you make your selection. That's really important.
So when it comes to the qualifying conditions for the scholarship, we have this phrase, and we've tailored it this way specifically for that purpose. We ask that you have a Social Security card, that you're accepted to an educational institution in Belize. But then we also ask that you demonstrate your financial need and your academic potential. That's what we're looking for, your ability to demonstrate that to us. Because we don't want to disenfranchise those who perhaps they were struggled a little bit, maybe in 1 year, but in the other years you did really well. And in your personal narrative, you explain what those challenges were. Because if you are in need, it is hard if you don't have a strong support system to pass with all A's. You need that support system. So we want to give opportunities to those who, if we don't step in and if we don't intervene, we don't know what their lives will be like. Those are the people we're looking to impact. We're looking for those who can demonstrate that financial need.
And while there are exceptional students out there who can manage difficulties in their life and still excel in school, if a child can't eat, if they're working to try to pay for school, if they're helping out at home, they don't have the amount of time either. So I'm so glad you said that, academic potential. So that's a good thing for people who are thinking of applying. You don't have to be top student valedictorian. You just have to show that you have that need and that you have the drive as well.
Yes, and even those who are valedictorians, by all means, they can still apply, We look forward to receiving those applications as well. But we have seen great things come from our existing scholarship recipients because they check in with us yearly, twice for the year, when they're at that mid-semester point and at the end of the semester. So for our recipients who came into our program in about 2018, those are the ones who are graduating this May, and some have already reached out and they've told us, I'm so thankful. We have a young lady who is graduating as valedictorian at her high school. We have another one who is giving the salutatorian speech. It's amazing to hear the stories from these kids and just hearing back from them saying, thank you so much for what you did for me, and I appreciate it so much. And it really just does pull on our heartstrings, and it makes us want to continue giving back to the community through this corporate social responsibility of ours.
What does the scholarship cover?
All right, so our scholarship, it varies by type, scholarship type. So if it's for high school, you're gonna get $1,200 per year for the 4 years. So what we do is we pay your tuition first. That is our primary responsibility, to ensure that your tuition is paid. Anything that is left over from we've covered that tuition expense, then we would deposit it to your parents' account so that they can purchase your books, your uniform, anything else that you may need to get yourself ready for the new academic year. So the same applies for the VOTEC. It's $1,200 per year for 1 to 3 years, depending on what you're studying. Because with the VOTEC institutions, you have 2 years to be certified, but you may have to do some pre-certification courses where they teach you some of the fundamentals, English, math, science, a few things. So that's where that 3rd year would come in, and we would provide that coverage. So for the associates, we do $2,000 per year for the 2 years. So it's $1,000 per semester. That one is a partial scholarship.
Okay. How many scholarship applications do you receive?
Every year the number increases. For last year, we got 350 applications. The year before that, we think we got about 300 applications.
Do you try to ensure that you offer scholarships that covers the country? In other words, people from all over the country?
Yes, we do. So when we go through the applications, we ensure that there is coverage and a representation from across the length and breadth of Belize. So when we're shortlisting, we then put them in piles based on where they live. And we ensure to have those from various areas attend the interview so that we can be sure that we're impacting all the communities, all the municipalities. So we do spread it out.
What's the interview process like?
We're going to ask, it's just like this.
Well, I want to ask Wilbur, what was that interview like? So your sister did the application, helped you with the application process, and then you got that call saying?
Yeah, I got an online call. I don't know exactly if I was talking to her. Or, yes, but she asked me basically why I should be accepted and stuff, and I told her my story, and right then and there she told me that I was be accepted, and that because I asked her too, because I went to Kayoset and I asked if they had any space left for the electrical program that I want to study, and then luckily the manager is like a family friend too, so I was waiting for a response from Social Security, but I told him that, so he still filled me in one time without the scholarship response. So it's an online process on phone and thing, and then they always reach back to you and tell you everything, and right then and there, if you're like really want it, they will tell you about you're accepted.
Yeah.
That's the best part of it.
Yeah.
So one tip is to have a story.
Yes. We're looking for active and mature participation in the interview process. We want to hear your story. Don't be afraid to tell us who you are as a person and some of your struggles.
Wilbur, do you think of what would have happened if you didn't get the scholarship? What was your plan otherwise?
Well, I used to work with Central Cable TV and Internet. My sister, I think she was the manager, Victoria Gonzalez. She is the one who is helping me along this journey.
Yeah.
I didn't like it that much, so I resigned, and then I started working at my family farm. So I was at the farm when I got this opportunity to come out back and study.
Yeah, you knew you wanted to go back and study.
No, well, I was not really thinking to go back because I was at the farm raising animals and stuff, but like an opportunity what I saw, I know like something I wanted to complete for my life. Like as I saw that, I know that I wanted to try to do something for my life again.
And so what do you say to other young people out there right now who are thinking, school, you know, I don't know if I want to go academics, there's something I want to learn to do and start working. What do you say to them about applying?
Well, I would like encourage them to apply, like if they feel like they're not book smart and stuff, they always have something else to do, like hands-on, like to learn something with their hands, and then you know you will always you will always be more inspired in something that you dream to do. So I always encourage young people that they feel like there is no way to go along the way, to always look out for the Social Security Board scholarships.
Right on. So Moeva, as we wrap up, would you tell us a bit about how people can access information on the scholarship?
Yes, definitely.
And a bit about the deadline?
Deadline too, yeah.
So let me start with the deadline.
Yeah.
June 24th, that is the deadline. We opened on May 3rd, so there's still a lot of time for them to put their applications in. So if they're looking for information on the scholarship and even how to apply, they need to visit our website at www.socialsecurity.org.bz, and we have a tab called Online Services. So right in that option, they're going to see the online scholarship portal. So they're just going to sign up with their email address, create a password, they log in, and then they're creating basically the web-based application where we're going to ask for their personal information, ask a section about their grades, and then for them to upload the relevant documents. Now the relevant documents, that varies by scholarship type, but that is also found on the website. So you'll go under highlights and you'll select scholarship program, and the information is there. Now, if you are someone who is thinking, I don't know, that sounds like a lot, then our customer care team is there as well to provide support. So we have 4 communication channels. We have WhatsApp, we have Facebook Messenger, we also have live chat on our website, and we have email. So we have all the support that anyone needs.
Okay. Now when you, and the support, the scholarship is for the entire duration of your program?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay. All right. Now, I think you mentioned earlier that you don't get as many applications for the vocational technical school, right? How many are you giving away?
We're giving 16 this year.
16. All right. So we do hope that, Wilmer, you've helped to convince some people that they can do it.
I have some personal friends who are going to reach out and going to reach at the school and stuff.
Yes. That's the kind of leader you can be. That's right.
This is our true ambassador here.
You could not have found a better person to be able to talk about it.
Yeah.
No, and so you finish your program in 2 more years?
No, in 12 more.
12 more months. So then we're going to get you and you're going to give out your number so people could hire you to do the work.
Yeah, for sure.
And you're based in San Ignacio, right?
Yes, San Ignacio, Santa Elena.
All right. Well, thank you both for coming on. Such an enlightening conversation, and continue to be the inspiration you are, Wilmer. We're proud of you here.
Yes, and you personally, like how you said you were a scholarship person, you give me more ambition to continue this journey to be a successful person.
Look at this scholarship reunion.
I know, right? It's nice to hear, man. You're bringing tears to my eyes.
It's a great opportunity that you offer people, that the Social Security Board offers people, and we do hope that they take advantage. So, once again, that deadline is June 24th.
That is right.
So please get online, find the application forms, and get the process started. I think Wilmer is a great example of what he said. It can change his life entirely.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So with that, we'll take another break, and we'll be right back. Stay tuned.
With eCash, bill payment is extremely convenient, and all utility companies accept eCash payments. What's even better? You get to split bills with your roommates, siblings, or whoever you desire. Simply open your eCash app, go to Bill Pay, tap the respective utility company, enter the information, and pay the bill. Then tap the transaction made. Tap Split the bill. Select Evenly. Send the request to who you are splitting the bill with, and get notified when they pay. Talk about making life easy and avoiding confusion. You can split the bill for restaurants, grocery stores, and for any eCash payment you make. To find your next yummy meal, hair treatment, or chill spot, simply open the app and utilize the geolocation service to see nearby businesses that accept eCash. Geolocation and bill payment make life a whole lot easier.
We were born connected to the water, the deep blue, the soil, the salt air, sheer abundance, ritual, water, expectation of the catch, the wind and waves. What lay beneath filled our bellies, sustained our communities. But song fell to a whisper. Her rituals were lost. Communities changed. But now, that song beckons us back to the sea. The generations that came before, and for the generations still to come. Thriving, abundant sea is possible. Rebuilding fish populations can be our legacy.
This May will be amazing at Benny's. Get amazing deals and great gifts from Mom. We have Pyrex Bakeware, Chicago Cutlery Knife Sets, Corningware, Snapware, and the elegant yet durable Coral Dinnerware Sets at amazing prices. Check out our impressive line of Sankey appliances and much, much more. Take advantage of these amazing deals all May long, only at Benny's, celebrating 75 years of quality and savings.
Download the SmartStream app on the Android Play Store and create your account to get access to movies and stream at home or on the go. Prepaid customers can purchase regular data packages or get a discounted rate on a special SmartStream package by dialing 7737. Postpaid customers will be billed monthly. Never miss a movie again with SmartStream.
Dwayne Moody, Isani Cayetano, Marian Ali, Paul Lopez. Your News 5 police teams do whatever it takes, go wherever they need to go, so you can catch the story wherever you are, whenever you want, on whatever device. Channel 5 believes on television, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, because news is now everywhere, all the time, and so are we.
Whether you're at home, on the road, at work, or at school, if you see news happening or suspect that something might be up, call or text the Channel 5 News Belize tip line at 672-5555. You don't have to give us your name, just give us the tip. That's 672-5555. Call or text us so we can check it out.
And we'll be back in a few, so stay tuned. Thanks, Jen. Hey there, we know you have to head out to work shortly, but don't forget that you can stay tuned by watching us on our Facebook live stream. Find us at Open Your Eyes BC, and you can continue watching there. You can also download Facebook Watch on your streaming device, and you can watch at your own convenience.
And for all the behind-the-scenes fun, follow us on Instagram at OYE Belize. So,
find us
and follow us
today.
All right, and we're back. In our last conversation, we talked a bit about vocational studies, and
scholarships that are available. So if you get excited about what we talk about, they could apply to SSB.
Indeed.
Yeah.
And we were actually talking about that during the break. But so we have in studios with us the representatives from the Orange Walk IT Vet. So we have Mr. Armando Gomez, who is the manager of Orange Walk IT Vet, as well as Miss Myrna Sentimento Crawford, who's a counselor and job placement officer at the Orange Walk IT Vet. Good morning to both of you.
Good morning.
Good morning. How was your drive down, and why not bring me no tacos? The first question. So I'm just kidding.
No.
But how are you both this morning?
But that's a valid point.
Yes, yes. Next time we're going to bring tacos.
Okay. How are you both this morning?
Well, first of all, I would like to say thank you very much for this opportunity. And it is always a pleasure to be in your talk show. And good morning to you, and good morning to Belize. And we're here to share the good news about the Orange Walk IT Vet. All right, so.
We know that you have, over the years, been a leader in trying to establish innovative programs for people to be able to learn marketable skills. For them to get employment. And I imagine the pandemic, I thought of IT vets so often as we had conversations with distance learning. How do you teach a skill if you're online? How did you manage through the pandemic?
Truthfully, it was very challenging, but I must say we are very, we are blessed with a good staff and a faculty and staff that is always ready to adapt and improvise. And we prepared well for the online classes. We did have online classes as from March of 2020. We never did close the school and say, well, we can't have classes. And we told the trainees and the parents that we're going to give them the theoretical aspect as best as possible, cover as much of the theory, so that when we are given the go-ahead, the green light from the Ministry of Education, we will then cover the practical aspect. And that is what we did, and it worked. We had a lot of challenges, but it worked more or less okay. And last June, because that was like 2 years of theory, and it really slowed us down. That is why right now, when we start in September, we're going to start the new training cycle in September, and we have a lot of trainees that did not complete their training due to the pandemic. So we have to accept them and put them on what we call completion
Okay.
Okay, so they will be on a separate timetable for them to come and complete their training.
Yeah.
Hopefully by December we will have a crowd that is ready to be certified with their different areas of expertise that they studied, right?
Yeah. So you must be excited for the new school year to start.
Oh, very much so. Very
want
much
to
so.
see young people back on your compound.
Well, we already are
Yeah.
seeing them already on campus. They are on campus right now as from last October. Last October we have face-to-face classes straight.
Okay.
So they are there doing their work and the teachers are handling, and praise the Lord, we're doing good. COVID did not affect the school, like we did not have cases starting up at school. No reports of that, but students were constantly reporting that they can't go to school because they're sick. So, and we have a very good, strict COVID protocols that we follow at the school.
So let's talk about what's coming up in September. What programs have you guys come up with?
Well, truthfully, we have 2 new programs which we experimented last year, and this year we want to make it better. When the people in.
This one?
We want to make it better.
We have 6 new programs.
These are the
that
new
we're going to
programs.
implement.
Yes, but the main ones that we are referring to is the one that we refer to as the facility maintenance.
Yes.
Facility maintenance.
That's the
And
first one that jumped out at me.
Yes, facility maintenance, and also the general construction and the home repairs. So those are 3 of the main programs that we want to promote much more, because those are programs that combine several of the other programs in one. So
Now, I know that you have very often gone back to the community to find out what their needs are as you develop programs.
yes.
What were you hearing from them to realize that things like property maintenance was becoming a skill set that was needed?
Well,
yeah.
Based on our experience of liaising with the industry, we do liaise a lot with the industry because part of the training of our trainees is that they have to go and do on-the-job training. So right there, they apply what they have learned, and at the same time, they learn new things that is the industry have to offer in their perspective fields or training of area that they train with us, and collaborating and communicating with the different employers. Then the feedback was those that we need some trainees to be trained in these areas.
Yeah.
Especially when they send them to resorts and those things, we would like your trainees to be trained in facility maintenance, in home repairs. So all of our program offerings have been of feedback from our employers, that collaboration that we have with them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what does, at this moment, what does the enrollment size look like at the school?
Well, we started the last year with almost 300, even with the pandemic, the challenges of the pandemic, almost 300 trainees registered. Due to the pandemic, we had some setbacks, and some of them departed and they went, they have to go and work and whatnot. So presently we have about 225 trainees right now that are going to school, and that is with all the different programs. We are anticipating and we are forecasting that for the new training cycle, which will begin in September, we will once more have 300 plus. If we would have more teachers, I am certain that we can fill up that institution with much more trainees, because the Orange Walk ITVET has reached to the point whereby trainees are put on standby. We can't accept everybody. They want to come to these programs, and they really want to, because, that's why I have to big up my teachers and my faculty and staff, because we are serious about what we're doing. And the quality of the training that we provide, the employers are always very pleased with our trainees. And we receive phone calls constantly telling us, please, we want you to send us 2 welders, two carpenters. We want somebody that can do AC and refrigeration and can do electrical, can also do some carpentry. And that is the kind of trainees that we produce. Our programs are tailored for that. You see, our institution, whenever a student registers in one of the trade programs, they are actually registering for 2 programs right now, 2 of the main programs. So when you come out, when you graduate from us at level 1, level 2, you end up with 2 expertise. So the employers love that, because when they hire an electrician, that electrician comes maybe with, they know the skills of plumbing, or maybe they took the next program, which is AC and electrical. They can do electrical also, see so. And then when they do that, they save money, because you only can, you better you hire one person that can do 2 things
Both
than hire only
things,
one,
yeah.
see. So this is the pluses that we have in our institution, and my faculty and staff has adapted pretty good to this new method of presenting and giving the training that we have.
And then you're setting up the young people with, you know, they become far more employable, because as you said, you know, if I can get somebody with multiple skill sets versus getting 2 people,
yes,
it's far more useful.
And
let's talk about the community support though, because that's key. Getting employers to want to take on your students and also be a part of their training.
One of the things I could say with the employers so far is that based on the performance of our trainees while they're doing the job training, they have performed to the best of their abilities, that they really embrace our trainees and they recommend us to the other employers as well. Thanks. Because we have had employers that we have not worked with before, and they would call us, you know, can you please, I'm looking for an electrician or a technician and auto mechanics, please recommend us someone. And that's how our name has been spread. Initially, when I started there, we only used to work within Orange Walk.
Yeah.
And then over the years, we have branched up as far as Placencia. We have our training center there, and Kaya District in the island, San Pedro. And during the pandemic, you might say, yes, everything might have slowed down in our training, but when it comes to the on-the-job training, I must say that we have partnered with 6 new employers, companies that we have never worked before, and the feedback from them is that they're very happy. As a matter of fact, we just have some trainees that we partnered first time with Santander, and they're super pleased with our performance of our trainees, and this is the beginning of future partnership with them. With Belize Diesel.
They always need welders, weren't they? The ones who were bringing in welders from Guatemala.
Yes.
And it was a certification issue, which you now offer.
Yes, correct. So those are the communication that we have had with the industries, and that come back to us, and then we try to adapt and tailor our training to suit their needs. But at the same time, we are not only basing ourselves on only Belize, we also tailor our training to the region, to the region, the CARICOM region, because our curriculum is tailored towards what we refer to as the Caribbean Vocational Qualification Certification. We are gearing our training towards that direction, because when our trainees get certified, we want them to be employable not only in Belize but also in the Caribbean region. And this is something that will soon become a reality. If it was for our institution, we are almost there, because of a couple of little things that is beyond our control. We have not reached to that accreditation level yet, but we are going to get there soon. And I know with all the stakeholders in the Ministry of Education and all the stakeholders in TVET, with that extra push, I believe that our ITVET and several other ITVETs may reach there sooner than later, and we will begin to be producing Caribbean Vocational Qualification certificates to our trainees, preparing them for Belize and for the region.
Now you told me something, running out of time so quickly, but you told us something before we got started, that there is a need for the communities to no longer look at technical and vocational schools as a school of dropouts. How do we change that? And what is the difference between people seeing technical schools as important as academic schools?
Truthfully, the concept and the culture that we produce at our institution is that TVET is the future of any developed nation. If you focus on TVET, the academics, the sciences and everything will complement TVET. It is not TVET that will complement those. They complement TVET. In some developed countries, TVET is the #1 option. Every child, every student wants to take TVET studies because they want to become an engineer, they want to be this, they want to be all, because they want to help build the nation. So that is the culture that we are creating at the Orange Walk TVET, and I must say that in the northern part of our country, Orange Walk TVET is not seen to that extent as a school that accepts the last, you know, the rejects. Many students coming out of the primary school, good students, are looking at the Orange Walk TVET as their first option.
Yeah.
And that is the focus of why we do all what we do. We're constantly changing, revising our curriculum, trying to make it better, more attractive. We have a lot of programs, a lot of different activities going on, inviting the general public to come and see what we have. So all of this publicity has helped us to be where we are now. So our partners in TVET, all of us in TVET, all of the other ITVETs, we have to be together. We have to begin to sing the same song, that TVET has to be at a higher standard. We cannot be training only apprentices, people who know to use their hands. We have to train people that know to use their head. Because a technician, when you put a technician to work there, that technician have to be able to problem solve.
Assess
and problem solve. And if we are not doing that, then we are just training apprentices and followers, people that will follow. If you don't tell them to move that, they will not move it. We want people that can think.
Critical thinkers.
Yes, so this is what we're doing at the Orange Walk TVET, and it is working pretty good. We want more help. We have far yet to go, and again, I will repeat here, as I said in the past, we are still aiming towards converting our institution, the Orange Walk TVET, into a technical, full-fledged technical university. We want to reach there, and we are getting there slowly, but I am certain that soon we will get that extra push that will make us reach there even faster. I am certain it's going to happen.
Well, with a passion like that, I'm certain too. Go ahead.
In addition to what Mr. Gomez was saying, our parents being satisfied with what the training that we have given to their son and daughter, you know, once you have a satisfied customer, you know, they are the biggest publicity you can get. So once the parents start to see that their child, you know, got a training, got a job out there, and everything, and it's making a big difference, then those satisfied customers also promote us to other parents as well. And, you know, within their friends and so forth, you know, I went there, I have a job, and then are the publicities that give us at the Orange Walk TVET that, you know, more students want to come to our institution. And we market a lot. Even though, despite we have the pandemic, we used to do online marketing to the different schools. We see marketing as the #1.
Do you have students that come from other districts to your school?
We have, so we have had students that come all the way from Independence High School, Holy and Shaw. We have from Corozal districts, we have several coming in from Corozal district. They are the most ones that come to our institutions. They're mostly
Belize.
from Belize City as well.
From
So,
Cayo, from Cayo they come. From every district they come to our school.
Yeah.
We have from Ecumenical High School too.
Yes.
You see, and we have been marketing before the pandemic. We market to every place. We go to all those schools. We visit all of them. But the pandemic just slowed it down. But don't worry, we're back again, and we're gonna hit the
If somebody wants to apply, they now see the programs and they say, I want to get into Orange Walk TVET, not on the standby list. What's the process? How quickly? I mean, how do you select who your students are going to be? Is it first come, first serve, or do they have criteria that they have to meet?
When they're applying, we ask that they get the application form, if they can visit our office in San Lorenzo Road, or if they would want it for us to email it to them electronically, we can send the application form. And they need their application requirements. They need to bring their birth certificate or passport, a copy of those, a copy of their social security card, their transcript or report cards that they need to bring, as well as passport size picture and a copy of the police record. And then they apply with their pay the application fee. Then the admission officer would give them a date for interviews, because we normally have interviews with them, with the parents. And then afterwards, they will review their report cards and everything to see best where they can gear them to the best training that they would get to us.
It's a process.
Yeah.
Yes.
Every trainee that goes to our institution is interviewed.
Yes.
It's not just come in and right away we accept them.
Yeah.
We have to see what you bring, and then we will see how best we can match you to what we feel you will do better. That's what we always do.
All right. Well,
And that has been for 16 years now.
Great. Well, I do hope you continue to keep up the good work, and that you do get the students that you're recruiting at this time. And thank you for traveling all the way from Orange Walk to be here with us.
Which one fills up the fastest?
Which one?
Which program fills up the fastest?
The ESC and electrical programs.
ESC and electrical and
then we are seeing now the auto mechanics with welding programs. Those are the ones that are being filling out the most.
Well, we appreciate you coming in to tell us about your new programs that you're adding, home repairs and property and facility management. Two new areas where you can develop skills at the Orange Walk IT Vet. Thank you so much for coming in.
Well, thank you very much also. And we, at this point, I would just like to say thanks also to my staff, who I believe some of them are listening. Thanks to my board of governors, who are always very so supportive. And also thanks to the Ministry of Education, who always gives us that extra push for us to be where we are right now. So, and thanks to you the media houses like your one, that always is willing to give us the chance to show and to talk about the Orange Walk IT Vet. Thank you, God bless you, and God bless everyone.
And I would also, in addition, thank all our employers that we have partnered with, and also future employers that we are also looking forward to partner with as well. And thank you for the time, for giving us to talk about the Orange Walk IT Vet and make sure that we're known to the others.
With that, we'll take another break and we'll be right back. You don't want to miss out on the final conversation, so do stay tuned.
I'm always on the go, and the country is my home. So when I want to get away from it all, I immerse myself with my favorite movies, all from the new SmartStream app. It's easy to use this service. Purchase your movies from the app and use your mobile data, SmartStream data packages, or smart broadband to stream and enjoy. Be like me and stream on the go with SmartStream.
National Agriculture and Trade Show is back. Visit the Next Gen booth for exclusive deals and discount on our Next Gen service bundles, high-speed internet, and more. Come experience a cinema setup and watch the Champions League finals on a big screen. We're bringing you great service and entertainment to the 2022 showgrounds. We'll see you there. Next Gen, the ultimate digital experience.
Your life just got a lot less complicated with Belize Bank Contactless MasterCard Debit Card. Introducing our Standard Debit and MasterCard Platinum Debit Cards. Now you can make purchases anywhere MasterCard is accepted with one tap, pay and go. Your contactless card never has to leave your hands, especially in these times. And your card is embedded with multiple layers of security. Platinum card holders get to enjoy extra benefits like price protection, purchase protection, trip inconvenience, and luggage protection, just to name a few. Start enjoying a cashless lifestyle today with the Belize Bank.
Whether you're at home, on the road, at work, or at school, If you see news happening or suspect that something might be up, call or text the Channel 5 News Belize tip line at 672-5555. You don't have to give us your name, just give us the tip. That's 672-5555. Call or text us so we can check it out.
Dwayne Moody, Isani Cayetano, Marian Ali, Paul Lopez. Your News 5 Belize teams do whatever it takes. Go wherever they need to go, so you can catch the story wherever you are, whenever you want, on whatever device. Channel 5 Belize on television, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Because news is now everywhere, all the time. And so are we.
And we'll be back in a few, so stay tuned. Thanks, Jen. Hey there, we know you have to head out to work shortly, but don't forget that you can stay tuned by watching us on our Facebook live stream. Find us at Open Your Eyes BC, and you can continue watching there. You can also download Facebook Watch on your streaming device, and you can watch at your own convenience.
And for all the behind the scenes fun, follow us on Instagram at OYE Belize. So,
find us
and follow us
today.
When someone you love becomes a memory, the memory becomes a treasure. Channel 5 introduces the Daily Obituaries. The Daily Obituaries will broadcast all death and funeral announcements and memorials to honor your loved one's life and memories. The Daily Obituaries airs on Channel 5 prior to the evening newscast, with subsequent repeats at 10 p.m. and 12 noon the following day. It will also be placed online on our social media platforms, all for a standard package fee. Celebrate their lives and memories with Channel 5's Daily Obituaries. Honor in life and reverence in death.
Are you looking for low-cost television advertising? Have we got a deal for you? Advertise on Channel 5's Daily Classifieds. Channel 5's Daily Classifieds is one of the most effective methods for introducing yourself and your business to the community. Use our Daily Classifieds to recruit employees, promote specials, promote your products or services, promote a business opportunity, increase traffic to your website, and advertise items you have for sale. Let us help you to save valuable time and money. Call us today at 280-0013 or visit us at our offices on Coney Drive to discuss how we can help your business grow affordably. Channel 5's Daily Classifieds. Advertise today.
right, and welcome back to our final segment for this Thursday's edition of Open Your Eyes. We have a brata, definitely a brata. We never announced this at the beginning of the show, but nonetheless, we're happy to have here with us, first and foremost, the Female Farmer of the Year, Miss Norma Figueroa. We also have with us the Junior Farmer of the Year, Mr. Darwin Oriana, correct? And then we have Mr. Martin Lindo he's one of the judges from Cardi, and then as well Mr. Miguel Balan, that's exactly what I didn't say. And he's a Belize District Agriculture Officer. Right. So good morning to you, beautiful people.
Morning.
So let's start with Miss. Well, I want to start with Darwin. Darwin, you were selected to be the Junior Farmer of the Year. Tell us a bit about your work and what you do in farming.
Well, my name is Darwin Oriana. I'm from Mascal village. I dedicate myself to the farming area and the cattle.
Mascal village. Okay, so tell us what you do.
farming?
Onions.
Onions.
I plant onions, a bit of tomatoes, sweet pepper, cabbage. Yeah.
How much time do you spend doing that?
For the onion, it's about 2 months of preparation of the soil, and the planting is 3 months.
Is this something you do full time?
Full time.
Oh, you do this full time?
Yeah.
Wow, that's encouraging. And Miss Figueroa, good morning.
Morning.
God, a bit nervous. You good?
Yes.
All right. So you are.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
You are the Female Farmer of the Year. What did you think when you heard the news?
Well, I get surprised because I didn't really wait for this.
You didn't expect it? Yeah.
No.
So tell us a bit about what you do on the farm.
Well, I have sweet pepper, tomato, and we plant carrots and potato, and we have cassava, soursop. We plant the watermelon.
So that's a lot.
Yes.
And where is your farm located?
I am Spanish Lookout, La Gracia.
Okay.
Good.
And the products that you produce, you then sell it on the market, correct?
Yes.
Do you sell it or do you sell it to others who go and sell?
Well, sometimes we carry it to the market, and sometimes people want to buy some too, so we go. We still sell some to right to the place there.
Yeah. Now, as one of the team judges, Mr. Lindo, would you go about telling us a bit about the process? Can you talk about the selection process that you underwent?
I've been judging for probably the past 8 years.
Okay.
Or a little bit more. We have 3 judges. So for this year, it was myself. You had one judge from Aika, Willie Chan, and we had another judge from PCB, Nonato Canto. What happens, the ministry, the extension service from the ministry, every year they nominate potential candidates for the upcoming NATs. And so they give us a list, and we have the privilege of going around the country to visit each farm to look at what the farmers have. We get a farm profile for each candidate, and the 3 judges go around physically, interact with the farmers to see what they are doing. The scoring itself, you have three sets of scoring. You have one for crops, which gives you 40 points. We have another scoring for livestock, which is another 40 points. And then you have the administrative, which is 20. So at the end of the day, who gets the most points for the 3 categories, they are the ones nominated as Senior Female and Junior Farmer of the Year.
How much names were on the list?
For this year, 18.
18. So you had to
Yeah.
save through 18.
18, yeah.
Wow.
Right.
Wow. And if you would, Mr. Bolon, tell us a bit about your experience in this whole process and what your engagement was like.
Each agriculture department is responsible for the selection of the most progressive and outstanding farmers in each category. And our extension staff, they are the foot soldiers. They are the one interacting with the farmers on a daily basis. So they know who the farmers are, who they think has the best opportunity to be the farmer of the year, because they look at the criteria and they know who exactly could fit those criteria. So our extension officers spend a lot of time dedicating to assisting the farmers when the judging date comes around.
Yeah. So what makes Norma and Darwin more progressive? Tell us about what you saw at their farms that made you know they'd come out on top.
In the case of Darwin, for a young farmer, the skill and the skill of farming that he's doing was pretty much impressive, and the innovations.
Yeah.
And when you do the scoring, you have a lot to do with new innovations. You have a lot to do with record keeping. It's a fact that a lot of our farmers don't do record keeping, which is a big thing for us. We need record keeping so that you know where you're going. A lot of times you would encounter farmers saying, I think I'm making it, but they don't have anything really to back up.
Yeah.
Whether they're really making a profit or not making, or how much they're making. So record keeping plays a big role. And also, farmers who are selected have to have both crops and livestock. You can't be just like a livestock farmer or just doing crops, so they have to be integrated. And so they really stood out.
Yeah. So Darwin, tell me, how old are you?
I'm 19 years old.
You decided that you wanted to get into farming.
Yes, ma'am.
Why?
It's like generation to generation what is being carrying on, and I feel like if I can do it on the farming.
And what has the process been like for you? Harder or easier than you thought?
Well, before, as I understand, it was easier, but now it's getting harder and harder.
Why?
Well, it's a lot of plagues, a lot of sickness, diseases going around. Yeah, it's affect the plants.
So, what happened when everybody in your business do the same thing, in your family do the same thing? Everybody tells you how to do it, but they're saying that you are innovative and you do things in a unique way. What do you do differently with your farms? What do you do that your uncle, your grandpa not do or do differently?
Oh, it's taking the record keeping, carry it on. Yeah. It's something like no lot of people would like to do. Yeah.
And you do it?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Because you want to know where all your work is going.
Yeah, it's.
So what's your plan going into the future? Is this something you see yourself sticking with, and something that's feasible for you to carry on?
Well, my future plan are plant and try to harvest the quality of product, the CFF product, and the healthiest product. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was going to ask Ms. Figueroa. I'm always intrigued when we highlight women in agriculture, because it oftentimes is considered to be a manly job, a man's job. But I would imagine that you are out there getting your hands dirty as well, correct? Tell us about your experience on the farm and what it is that you do. Do you get hands-on?
I have I start to work the plants when I'm about 20 years. Now I have 33 years that I work on it, and well.
So 23 years.
I like I like to do it. And well, right now, well, I mostly deal with papaya and sweet pepper because I know both of the things now, but I like that now, and
You like it.
it's good and keep it clean and make everything look good now because that's our work
What's
every day.
What's the secret to your farm? What's the secret to your success? You have a good hand? Huh? Or you keep good watch over the plants and when they have changes?
Yes, that we
Yeah.
do, yes. Try.
I'm sure you got a good hand too.
Yeah.
Do you work alone? Do you have a team with you?
I just have me and one next boy will work with me. Yes, those two of we they work.
What's perhaps, let me ask, the greatest challenge for you in farming over the last 23 years? What's some of the greatest challenge that you've had to face?
Like, what do you mean so?
Like it's been 23 years, and I'm sure it hasn't always been an easy ride, or it's not always been going smoothly. You've had some bumps along the way, some difficulties you've had to face on the farm. Perhaps what is one of the greatest challenge?
Well, we said like right now, no things is very hard to we see the plants good, and so like we said, the years where we pass, we'll see the things better, no, because like more rain and everything be better. But like right now, it's barely, how the weather sometimes is done, so the plants like sometimes then grow when later weather, well, we see the plants that grow better and then that look good, right? But like right now, we need like for spreading then every morning, so and evening to make we see the things that then that look better. No.
Darwin, you having the same problems?
Yeah, it's the dry weather that affect everyone in this period of time.
Yeah. All right. And what do you enjoy the most about farming? I know we've been talking for years that people need to see agriculture as a business that they can move into. You're a young man, and I'm sure you have your friends, and they say, "Why are we going to farm for?" But what do you tell them that you love about it?
Well, we see the rate of delinquents going down because you have something where you can focus on. You have something that you can take care of. Just see the farming as a style of life.
Yeah. Now, over the years, gentlemen, we have been talking about the different farmers of the year. What is the incentive for the farmers who actually win this award?
Well, at the end during the two of the nuts, farmers provided with some gifts from the different commercial houses, agrochemical companies, and that's one. The ministry as well provide them with livestock each. But overall, we continue to work hand in hand with the farmers. We provide capacity building and trainings over the period of time in different aspects of production, inclusive of marketing. The ministry has a policy for gender equity where we promote more involvement of women and youth into our cultural programs. So the incentive is diverse, and so they have opportunities of being engaged into our work programs.
Darren, I wanted to ask you one more question. You say you do onion and you do sheep, right? You do cattle. Sorry, which one you prefer?
Both of them.
No, you can't pick one. Either deal with the animals or deal with the plants.
Well, it's hard for me to pick one. I
different
love
challenges for
both
both,
of them.
no? Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, how do we use examples like Darwin and Norma and keep on spreading the word about how there is much opportunity in agriculture?
I guess platforms like this going on the shows so that people could actually see that, you know, there's a lot of positivity in farming.
Yeah.
I know that there's a trend in Belize and I guess throughout the Caribbean that a lot of people see farmers not through our eyes. We see farmers differently, but the public out there for some reason tend to look down on farmers a lot. And in the past, people would believe that if you're not educated, then you have to do farming, which is not so any at all. No, if you want to study to be an agronomist or whatever, you have to have a lot of the academia. You have to have all the academics to do that. So to a large extent, I think farming is still not really appreciated. So
until there's a shortage of my favorite ingredient,
exactly.
then I want to know what happened at the farm.
Right.
But it is, and you know, we started off the show talking about the forum the investment summit taking place in Guyana with agriculture. The entire region, we're looking at food security. We're looking at trying to get more farms or more agricultural practices in place so we could feed ourselves. Is that the best part, that you just know at the end of the day you could feed yourself? Yeah?
I think that's a blessing for us, for Belize, because we can basically, we feed ourselves. So I mean, if you go into the Caribbean, it's not the same. But for us, we actually feed ourselves.
Yeah. And I'd just like to say that there's a lot of education and academia involved in farming. Whether you're going to schools or learning on the job, there's a lot of science involved. And just over my coverage over the last few years of agricultural issues, you realize that there's climate issues, you have to deal with mitigation issues. And you don't just go in and do that. You have to have some knowledge. There's, like you said, the pests and the different diseases that you have to be able to man. So I mean, it's a field in and of itself that requires a lot of knowledge. Yeah, so kudos to you both, and congratulations once again.
How do you feel that you won Farmer of the Year?
Privilege.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What did your family say when they found out that you won?
Well, that they was proud of me. Yeah, and make I keep it up.
Yeah. And Norma?
Well,
so when you carry your produce, so you could say produce from the Farmer of the Year. I'll give you a sign. Do you think more women should start to have their own farms or start looking into getting into agriculture? Yeah? What would you tell them?
well, I'd tell them that like we women, we could work. We could go ahead the work, and I said we women could learn any kind of work if we put to ourselves. And the first time, like I used to feel it hard. I say sun hot and this and that, but we get used to it. I get used to it. Now I miss to go see my plants and work on it. And the sun, well, I don't feel it much now. Have years. My husband used to work before, but no, he stopped it. So I say, well, I'm going ahead. So.
And you talk to your plants too?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they laugh. I know they do, right?
You know the plants need from we every day. Yeah.
That's true?
Yeah, because if we
But you hard by your plants, or you sweetie with your plants?
Well, I got a morning and I see it and I start to play with it and I tell her, well, you look pretty today.
Yeah. Positive reinforcement. How about you? You hard on yours?
Well, it's a key that everyone need to know that you need to give before you receive.
Yeah.
The way you treat them, they're gonna give back.
That's a huge principle right there, man. That's a gem. Yeah, I'd like to be a plant on your farm.
Yeah.
Wake up every morning.
Papaya. Sweet.
Yeah,
sweet. All right. So These are, of course, somebody's calling to tell you congratulations right now, Darwin. But we thank you for coming in and sharing a bit about it. We know that they will also be highlighted as the agricultural and trade show comes up next weekend.
Next weekend.
So this is an opportunity to be able to see them and talk to them as the 2022 Farmers of the Year.
Yeah.
Anything else you'd like to share with us?
Closing thoughts?
It's always a privilege to go around to do the judging for the Farmer of the Year. The three of us, the three judges, were very impressed with the female, the junior, and the senior who couldn't make it today. With Darwin, I was really impressed because he's so young, and to see the level of farming that he's doing, the amount of implements that he has. I mean, not even 20 yet, and the level of farming is really great. When you go into his onion field, it's like you're in another world when you see the amount of onions that this young man has, you know. So it's always good for me to go out and visit the farms and do the judging. And I have to mention, with the gender thing, there are lots of females now getting into farming and even studying to become agronomists and stuff like that. We were quite impressed with one more candidate that didn't really make it from down south, a young lady. She was really, really good also with the level of her farming and what she's doing. She very, very innovative. So very impressed.
All right. Well, you just set the standard now that other people are saying, I want Farmer of the Year next year, then gone out, then gone sweet talk the plant a little bit.
Right.
So that they could.
and another note also, I have my own little farm, and so sometimes I take my little stepson with me to the farm, and he surprised me once because he said, but how people always say that money no grow up on tree. But I see you to make money off of your coconuts all the time.
That's right.
So people have to see farming in another light.
Yeah.
If you have your fruit trees and you see your mangoes or your avocados, you're really looking at dollars.
Yeah.
You're seeing dollar signs. If you have onions, carrots, tomatoes, sweet peppers, those are dollar signs.
And even if you're doing a backyard garden, that's saving you the dollars you're going to spend somewhere else.
So you have to see farming in a positive way.
All right. Well, thank you all for coming in. This is the perfect preparation for next week's Agriculture and Trade Show. Congratulations once again, and keep up the good work.
It's well deserved.
Yeah. All right, we're going to go ahead and close off our show for today. We do have one developing story that we wanted to let you know.
Yeah, just to inform the general public or viewers that the Ministry of Health this morning confirmed that the Omicron BA2 variant has been detected in Belize and is in fact the dominant variant at this time. Over the last few days, a couple of weeks in fact, we've been seeing a steady increase, and this week in particular we're seeing a significant rise in cases, and saying that to say that the ministry has confirmed that Belize is in fact experiencing a new wave of COVID-19 infections, and so they spoke about the fact that they're upping their surveillance and monitoring, and so today we will be doing some investigation on that, getting some more information, and you will be able to catch some of that on our Facebook page, also on our 6 p.m. newscast later on tonight.
That's right. But in the meantime, we got to go. Thank you for hanging around with us today. It was an extended show, but great conversations all around. You can get in touch with us by sending us an email at oye@channel5belize.com. Find us on Facebook at Open Your Eyes BZ.
Also on Instagram at OIE Belize.
And remember to tune in tomorrow morning at 6:30 when you open your eyes.
And start your morning right.
Until then, keep your eyes, your mind,
and your heart.
We'll see you soon. Enjoy your day, Belize.
Open Your Eyes was brought to you by the Belize Bank. Our country, your bank.